Falling in love with Elle was like finding a part of myself I never knew existed. I didn't understand it, the confusion, the thrill, the terrifying beauty of it all. I found myself drawn to her in a way that defied everything I'd been taught. This is the story of how I discovered a new side of myself, and the girl who helped me find it. When I arrived at Willowdale, everything felt so strict. We had curfews, a place where rules were strict and secrets were everywhere. We were told who to talk to, even how to laugh. I never really fit in with people who followed all the rules anyway. And then, one day in the dining hall, I saw her. Elle was different. She had this boldness about her. She'd smirk at the teachers, break curfew without a second thought, and carry herself like she knew exactly who she was. I felt something stir in me when I looked at her, something familiar, something I didn't yet understand. We became fast friends, bonding over little rebellions and late-night conversations. She'd ask me questions that no one else ever did, things that felt deeply personal, things that made me feel seen. There was a thrill in her presence. I was drawn to her curiosity, and most of all, her openness. Elle made me question myself in ways I never had. One night, we stayed up talking, and Elle asked if I'd ever thought about love, about who I was attracted to. My face turned red. I'd never been asked that before. When I stumbled over my words, she just gave me that daring smile. Every daring smile became something sacred, something thrilling. She was my first love, and my first discovery of this side of myself that felt so alive. I wanted to know everything about her, about us, about who I was becoming. But as we grew closer, the fear started creeping in. Willowdale wasn't exactly the place for open minds and acceptance. We had to keep our love hidden. I felt torn between my feelings for Elle and the fear of being found out. It was thrilling yet terrifying. I was falling deeper, and I didn't know if I could keep my heart safe in the process. Elle would tell me it didn't matter, that all we had was what we felt. There was something electric in every moment we shared. Late at night, she'd sneak into my room, and we'd stay up until dawn, just talking, holding each other, exploring parts of ourselves that felt both terrifying and beautiful. With her, I felt things I'd never let myself feel before. The intensity of it, the way she looked at me, made me feel like I was truly alive for the first time. One day, I saw her talking with someone else, a girl named Ivy, who seemed to know Elle in a way that felt too familiar. I felt a pang of jealousy that I couldn't explain. Suddenly, I was questioning everything. Did Elle feel the same way about me, or was this just another thrill for her? Elle just looked at me, her expression unreadable. "What's wrong?" she asked, but I couldn't bring myself to tell her the truth, that I was afraid of losing her, afraid that maybe this wasn't as real to her as it was to me. The rumors started spreading. I could feel the eyes of everyone in the school, watching us, whispering. One day, a teacher pulled me aside, asking questions about my friendship with Elle. My heart pounded as I denied everything, feeling shame and fear mixing with the love I felt for her. I was terrified, but I knew one thing for certain: I couldn't lose Elle. I confided in Elle that night, pouring out my fears, my insecurities, my need to be with her despite everything. She held me, her voice soft as she reassured me. "We're in this together," she said, and somehow, those words made me feel safe, like I could face anything as long as I had her. Our secret became our freedom. We lived for the moments when we could be ourselves without fear, sneaking out after dark, defying the rules, sharing moments that were just ours. I'd never felt so alive, so completely in love. It was like nothing else mattered. Eventually, the secrecy caught up with us. One evening, a teacher caught us sneaking back to our dorm, and within days, the entire school knew. Elle and I were called into the headmaster's office, our love exposed for everyone to see. I felt humiliated, ashamed, but then I looked at Elle, and I realized that she was worth every consequence, every judgment. They separated us, forbidding us from seeing each other, but even as I sat alone, I felt this strange strength. Loving Elle had taught me something no one else ever could.